Now it ain't nothing wrong with you wanting to be comfortable, you know what I'm saying? But at the same time, bro, how you gonna hit new heights within you like taking care of yourself and your family, bro, if you being comfortable, if you just settling, you know what I'm saying?
Hello everyone, this is Emmanuel Cook. We will be reacting to a new video today, so make sure you guys like, comment, and subscribe down below, and let's get into the video.
Out of all the things I've ever wanted out of my life, I have never wanted to be rich, and let me tell you why. Rich is of course subjective, and I want to live comfortable. I want to be able to live the life I want to live, but rich, no. You ever notice the more you have, the more you want? The more shoes I buy, the more shoes I want. Contentment with godliness is great gain. I never want more than what's just going to make me happy and content and comfortable. Anything more than that, that's where the greediness starts to get in. That's why you have these billionaires in the same country where people can't even afford to eat. And then on top of that, the outside effects, the people that are coming after you, the people that get next to you just because of the money. No, it just seems like way too much. I don't envy people that have way more, like way more than the average person. It seems like it just comes with a lot. My prayer is that I handle what God gives me the right way so that I always just have what I need and what I'm comfortable with. I don't pray to become rich.
Here are my 5 tips on how to live a balanced lifestyle if you have a super busy schedule like me. This especially goes for people in college who are still trying to stay fit and have fun and get their work done. 1, work smarter, not harder. Obviously, if you have like super strict academic goals, don't listen to me. But like over the years, I've learned that the mindset work smarter, not harder has really helped me find a balance. Here are some examples. If a professor assigns me a 2 to 3 page paper, I'm writing 2. If you're short on time and want to work out, just do a little at-home workout and don't bother wasting time getting to and from the gym. If you know you can get a good grade on an exam by just reading your notes and not reading the textbook, you know what I'm going to say. 2, make time to exercise. If you want to live a balanced lifestyle, you got to be getting in the workouts. And like I said before, if you only have 30 minutes, just do something little at home. Any exercise counts. 3, make time to have fun. Don't be lame and just do your homework and work out. You got to have some excitement in your life. And I don't just mean drinking if that's not your thing. Go do something outside, have an activity. We need to keep that spark alive. Even if it's only a few hours out of the week, that's better than nothing. But personally, I prefer to have something to look forward to every day, so I try to make time for something I enjoy on the daily. 4, meal prep. If you're cooking dinner every night, you are not using your time efficiently. For example, cook all your meals on Sunday, and then every night you have that extra hour you would have spent cooking, use that to do something fun or get more homework done. 5, don't overcommit yourself. To live a balanced lifestyle, you can't do it all, so stop saying yes to everything. At the end of the day, to achieve balance, you have to prioritize what adds value to your life. We're all about balance around here. You can still have fun and achieve your goals.
Work-life balance is not just about creating time outside of work to take care of yourself. It's also about what you do with the time that you do have to take care of yourself. Some people genuinely do not have that much time to spare outside of work, and it's not because they have necessarily poor work-life balance, but some of us actually do love our careers and love our jobs. So when I think about what work-life balance actually is, it's really about the habits that we've created for ourselves. And a part of not neglecting ourselves in the name of our careers is by creating healthy habits with the amount of time that we consistently have to realistically take care of ourselves. So a battle that comes up in my personal life and in a lot of my clients' lives is how do you realistically create these habits that allow you to have a healthy work-life balance when you genuinely have a job that is very time consuming? Because also the amount of time that we have to truly care for ourselves tends to fluctuate depending on what's happening at work and what's happening in the other areas of our lives. So here's an exercise to help with your work-life balance that will help you even if you're really busy. I want you to open your notes app and make a list of all the things that make you happy. These can be activities, these can be restaurants, these can be people. Make a list, anything that comes to your mind. And at least once a week, you need to do at least one thing on that list every single week for all of 2024. And depending on how much time you have, you can even challenge yourself to do one thing from that list every single day. Because if we can't change the quantity of something, we change the quality of it. So it's not about how much time you have for yourself, it's about what you do with the time that you have for yourself. Because even if you only have 5 free minutes, you can use those minutes to pour into yourself.
If you want work-life balance, you need to start buying back your time. And what I mean by that is you will have more time for the things that you love if you start using your money to delegate those time-consuming routine tasks. It took me way too long to learn that lesson, but here's how you can do it. Number one, get yourself a personal assistant. Now, I know that seems like something that costs a lot of money or that's something that CEOs do, but it doesn't have to be. A good resource, I love me some TaskRabbit, because you can find an executive assistant with experience for around $20 to $35, and those are New York prices. But they can send emails, pick up something, drop off something, get someone a gift, plan a trip. So for around $40, you can take that off your plate and spend your time on something else. This next one was a game changer for me. Order your groceries. I can't tell you how much I hate going to the grocery store during rush hour where everyone and their mom is there. Or if you live in NYC, having to carry those groceries back home. So what I do on Sundays is order my groceries with Whole Foods on Amazon. The subscription is $9.99 a month for unlimited groceries. I know, ain't nobody want another subscription, but I promise you it's worth it. Lastly, the task that took up way too much of my time: cleaning. It's a whole full-time job, and the task that was hardest to give up because I grew up thinking that getting a housekeeper was the easy, lazy way out. But when I tell you, even getting someone every other week made the biggest difference. You get to come back home to a clean house, and I set it up on Thursdays, so I don't have to spend the weekend catching up on chores. I get to hang out with my friends, catch up on side work, literally do whatever the hell I want. The point I'm trying to make is, as we advance in our careers, it's important that we challenge these time management techniques that we've probably outgrown and reevaluate our beliefs around time and money, and stop saying, I can do everything myself, because down the road, you'll realize you're burnt out.
What up? I was just thinking how cool it would be to be rich and comfortable. Not just rich and comfortable. Like, that's what I want. I want to be rich and comfortable to the point where I can just go to a restaurant with my friends and family and then not even look at the bill when it comes. I just hand them my card, but yo, swipe that. I don't even gotta look at the bill. That's how rich and comfortable I want to get. Or rich and comfortable enough to buy all 4 tires. You know how expensive tires are? I want to be rich and comfortable to the point where I can have breakfast, lunch, and dinner in 3 different countries on the same day. I want to get so rich and comfortable that I don't have to memorize how much money I need to spend to get a full gas tank. You ever done that where you sat there and you're like, oh man, $70 usually gets me full tank. I don't have to worry about that. Just swipe my card and I don't have to memorize how much money gets me the full tank. Bro, I want to get so rich and comfortable that when it comes to taxes, I don't have to care what tax bracket I'm in. Be so rich and comfortable that I know that I got my taxes covered. I don't care what bracket I'm in. Goals 2024. To work towards being rich and comfortable. Not just rich, but comfortable in being rich.
Somebody who works in banking, I often get asked how I find balance with the long hours. I've been in banking for 4 years now, and I'm still surviving, so let's go through some of my favorite things that keep me sane in this job. The first is taking advantage of my free time. Working these hours and this schedule comes at a cost for sure. Your pockets of free time come at some very odd hours sometimes. Sometimes it's 2 p.m. on a Tuesday, sometimes it's 9 p.m. on a Saturday. You really just never know. And so I think being able to be really flexible and being adaptable to that schedule is something that's really important. And being able to jump into any activity at the drop of a hat is something that has kept me sane. And what I mean by that is a pocket of free time where you're like, okay, I have 30 minutes, what do I do with it? You get outside, you call your mom, you go to the grocery store, you do your laundry, you meet up with a friend, you do whatever you can, because that you don't know when that pocket of free time is going to come next. And so I think being able to take advantage of that is really important. Along with that, the second thing I would say is getting outside. With these hours, we are inside so much of the day, and I think there are a lot of lost hours from being inside. And so I think with those pockets of free time, it's important to just get out and get moving, whether it be a walk, a run, anything to just get you outside, get some fresh air. It really brings a little bit of life back into you, and it kind of just grounds you back with what you're doing. The third thing that has kept me sane through all of these hours is prioritizing my mental health. It's something that not a lot of people talk about, and I think this looks different for everybody. Mental health is definitely a personal thing, but it's something that everybody experiences. And so for me, what this looks like is prioritizing me time. And what I mean by that is I, for example, have a morning routine that I do every single morning. And for me, that is the control that I have over my day. Banking often comes out of nowhere and takes control over my day in other ways. And so I think by me prioritizing my morning routine, it gives me that little bit of control. I think prioritizing your mental health with these hours is really, really important. Those are my 3 things that I do and stick to stay sane in this job and work these hours. Let me know if this was helpful, or if you have other questions about banking. I'm happy to answer them.
Sometimes it could literally take 50 tries to actually get something to work, and that's a reality that a lot of us are not quite comfortable with. I feel like because of how much social media shows the people who are the instant gratification warriors, we are not comfortable with the fact that a lot of people actually have had really slow growth, and slow growth is the thing that will get most people to where they want to be. We see a lot of these people who seem like overnight successes because of social media, but the tea is, even those people who seem like overnight successes, it might be a little bit closer to overnight successes. Some of them weren't even that either. You're just seeing them at the point where the success finally worked. You're seeing them at that point where they make it look easy. A lot of your favorite business owners, content creators, etc. have had to try so many different things. For example, Emma Grede, she is the Black woman who's actually behind a lot of the Kardashians brands like Skims, Good American, Safely. I feel like people would look at her and then, without actually researching her background, just be like, wow, you're running the Kardashians brands? Like, dang, like you got lucky. But what a lot of people don't know is that she started multiple businesses before she even got the first business that she started with the Kardashians. And from hearing about her journey via podcasts and interviews, it seems like she went through a lot of stuff career-wise before she actually got to that point. But now you look and you're like, that's a boss, that's a boss. But a lot of us aren't willing to go through those things that make us become a boss because we're actually scared of the work. We actually just want the instant gratification, and we actually just want for people to notice what we're doing versus actually going through the trials and tribulations to be something and have something. Instant gratification is a very rare thing. Overnight success is a very, very rare thing. And sometimes being viral really quick actually has a really quick downfall. Slow growth builds sustainability, it builds character. It makes it so that when you finally have whatever it is that you've been wanting and craving, you know how to actually handle it because of the stuff that you've been through to prepare you for that blessing. So next time you're like, let me stop trying. Let me stop trying with social media. Let me stop trying when it comes to building my business. Let me stop trying when it comes to applying to jobs or getting a new degree, whatever. I want you to remember that sometimes you have to be knocked down 5, 10, 20 times before you actually reach that point where you're like, oh, I'm up. Like, I think we think that, oh, maybe I'll be knocked down like 2 times, 3 times. Oh no, it's way more than that. It was never promised to you that it would be easy. But I can promise to you that if you want something bad enough, you'll keep trying until you get there.
A quick reminder, please remember to like, comment, and subscribe down below, and let's continue the video.
Work-life balance is bullshit. It's just life, and you get 80 years of it. And the thing is that if you spend 40 years of that life working 40, 50, 60 hours a week at a job you hate, to buy things you don't need, to impress people you don't like, and that's not an original thought, but it is what it is, then you've got to have a hell of a life outside of that work in order to balance it out. And lawyers have this particularly bad. Like, oh, I'll be happy when I graduate law school. I'll be happy when I get a job. I'll be happy when I make partner. I'll be happy when I make equity partner. And it just keeps moving and moving and moving. And it's like, no, just go do something that makes you money, that makes you happy now, right? Stop worrying about what kind of a life do I have to balance out all this bullshit work that I'm doing, and start worrying about how do I just make it so that I enjoy the work. It's not that hard.
When y'all be like, oh, I don't want to be rich, I just want to be comfortable, I be so fucking quiet. Because what do you mean by that? Because to me, being comfortable is you not living check to check. After you pay your bills, you might have enough money to go and do something fun. You got a little savings, but like, you not prospering really. Like, you not worried about nothing, but you not prospering. Like, you at that middle ground. And what do you mean you don't want enough money to have the freedom to do whatever you want to do in this life? What do you mean you don't want enough money to not have to ever worry about another dollar gracing your fingertips? Y'all just be trying so hard to sound so fake humble, because like, if the opportunity arises and it is a morally sound opportunity for me to become rich in this lifetime, I'm going to take it with no questions asked. And you would do it too for a check.
I don't know who this is for, but all that working, no balance, no life outside of that, cut it out. You're going to be burnt out. You're going to be tired. You're going to be stressed out. You're going to be depressed. Get you a hobby or 15. It don't matter. There don't be nothing wrong with me. I just need to remember that I have hobbies. I get so caught up in work sometimes that I don't have that good work-life balance. And then I'll be like, damn, why do I feel like this? It's because I'm on go and I'm not doing nothing else but focusing on what I'm trying to complete, a goal I'm trying to complete. But I need to remember that I need to also live my life. I need to have that good work-life balance. I have hobbies and I have so many of them and the options are endless. There is no reason for me to be sad. Like, okay, yeah, have your moment. But then when I remember I have hobbies, I'm good. I remember I can do whatever the hell I want, I'm good. Sometimes I just need a good... So I skipped school today and I took a yoga class and I'm leaving my yoga class with my mango smoothie, feeling good, feeling great. Now I'm about to go home and I'm about to tend to some of my other hobbies that don't require anything of me. I kind of want to make a scrapbook, so I might do that today. I don't know.
How to live a balanced lifestyle. So this is for the people that like to party, like to go out, or you know what, actually just like to eat, just like to, they're foodies, they like to get a drink here and there, but they also love to be that fitness queen during the week or like part-time during the week. So if this one is for you, then listen up. Number 1, plan your week. Know the times that are exciting that week, whether you're going out with friends, whether you have a friend's birthday, or you're going on a date night, whatever it is, and work hard so that you can enjoy those times and you can be present in those times and you don't feel bad when those times come. So you get all the hard work in so you feel good about those times. Number 2, prioritize healthier options. Now this comes in many ways. You first of all have to stock your house with healthier options. So like when you go to pick a snack or when you go to pick lunch out of the fridge, you have those healthier options and those are at your disposal at any time. Number 2 is you have to make the meals at home. Stop eating Uber Eats for everything. If you need to, yes, I get that. But if you can, try to make like 90% of your meals during the week or even during just Monday to Friday at home. So you know you're choosing that healthier option. Number 3, making working out and fitness a priority like everything else in your life. Like it is just as equal as your work life, your social life, the gym and working out, even if it's not the gym, even if it's a sport or whatever it is, or physical activity, going for a run, whatever it is, incorporate that as a priority in your life and make it fun. Make it not something that you have to do like a punishment. Make it something that you look forward in doing, whether that's like getting a gym buddy, that's what I love to do, or going to classes with a friend. That makes me want to go. Number 4, and this one took me quite a while to learn and like wrap my head around, but you have to live in the moment. Be where your feet are at all times. Like if you are doing that like fitness girly day and you are eating healthy, you have a lot of booked through your day that you have to do, you have a lot of things you need to catch up on, be in that moment and be that fitness girl and be that healthy girl. But if you're out on a date, enjoy that date. If you're out with a friend for her birthday, enjoy that birthday. Be exactly where you are. If you live your life thinking about the next day of how much you have to catch up or thinking of like fasting the next day because you ate too much the day before, that will ruin your moments that you have for you. And life is life. You need to like live it to the fullest. But when you're in that moment of health, be health. But if you're in that moment of having fun and treating yourself, treat yourself and do not look to the next thing. Just live in that moment at that time. And I know this 80-20 rule is viral and you've probably all heard of it, but it is so true that no one can restrict themselves and eat healthy and be that fitness girly 24/7. You need those times to treat yourself. You need those times to go celebrate your birthday or a friend's birthday or a wedding or whatever it is. You need those times for a little break. So really, really understand that you don't need to be this healthy girl 24/7 and don't feel guilty for not being that person. And I promise you, you will enjoy your life more and you have only one life to live, so freaking live it.
This has been on my mind for about a week or so now, right? And is this idea of having a work-life balance, but also working hard to earn a lot more. It doesn't make sense, honestly. If you want more, you have to put in more work. We understand that. But you cannot overwork yourself. You cannot overwork yourself at the end of the day. Just work hard at first. After that, get work-life balance. And then after that, work less and less and less and less, slowly over time. That is how you do it. And you pay other people so that you can free up your time. And once you have more time, then life is really balanced for you. But you have to work so hard to get at that stage of your life where you have enough funds to delegate a lot of your life to other people to handle for you. That is the key. But it is so hard just to get to that level of your life. But once you're there, hopefully things will just be smooth from there.
So I was on a panel yesterday at the new school, and I was talking about my career both as someone who is a DEI professional, but then also I pursue music professionally outside of my 9 to 5. And the students were, curious about how do you balance that. And what I didn't say on the panel is that balance feels like such a lie. There's this idea that you've got your professional work side, and then you've got your thing you're really passionate about, your artist side, and you have to find a way to make time for both, and that balance, quote unquote, will somehow give you this overall sense of wellness and equilibrium. But I'm going to use a Severance reference here without spoilers. There's the part of my work self that longs for something that my Audi has, that my artist has, and there's a part of my artist self that longs for something my any has, and the security and financial security that comes with professional work. And so the key to really feeling at peace and feeling at harmony with both of these different sides really is about integration, and integrating the parts of myself that are creative and adventurous and push back against capitalistic structures, and bringing that into the workplace, and particularly being in DEI gives me the opportunity to say, no, let's pause, let's look at that, and let's analyze the ways in which what we're doing isn't actually serving the people that work here. And in my artistic life, I get to pull some of the program management or ways that I handle multiple responsibilities and put that into the dedication and drive that's needed to become a successful artist. And so the balance between the artist and the professional is less to me about making space for both of them rather than like continuously trying to become one again. And it's really hard, especially in a workplace in America where burnout and overworking yourself is the norm. And to be an artist, you really have to work against that and give yourself rest as resistance, and give yourself the time to do nothing and be inspired. And the workplace pushes against that. So I'm continuously trying to figure out maybe better workplaces that actually support more of that balance. But yeah, that's my 2 cents.
Living a balanced life is thrown around a lot, and I don't think balance is everything in moderation. I think that balance is doing different things to the fullest. If you're going to work out, be there 100%, be present. If you're going to be drinking wine with your friends, have the intention of connection and being there and being present. I've been trying to achieve quote unquote balance for most of my adult life, and although I'm not a pro, I have tested and tried a lot of things, some that have not worked and some that I love doing. I'm going to be using this page as just kind of like a journal for what's working and what's not, and bringing you in on what's worked with me so far to kind of achieve this like full and balanced life, and what has not worked and why. It'll be different for everyone, but maybe it'll just give you little things you can try. I get asked a lot by friends what I'm doing, what am I eating, what am I doing for my routine. I am always trying different things, so I've gone through a lot of different like routines and hacks and types and styles of eating, and so I'm always all over the place, but I'm always fairly happy. So anyway, if that's interesting, I'm going to be posting that kind of thing, what I'm eating, what my routine is, what's working for me, what I'm reading, and all of that. So
this is by far the best lesson I've learnt whilst being a freelancer. It's work-life balance. It sounds really simple, but it's been the best thing that's ever happened to me when it comes to work. Before I was a freelancer, I did not have work-life balance. I was killing myself, up early, staying late, working weekends, you name it. I poured from an empty cup. Taught me some really great lessons. I obviously learnt a lot, and it was a really fun job. So to me, it was like, whatever, this is everything, this is who I am. Versus now, where today I started at 7:30 and finished at 3:30 because I had an early meeting and I was really tired by the time I hit the 3:30 mark, so I just decided to go home and stop working for the day. I will never, ever, ever sacrifice my life for work again. That is something that I'm absolutely not willing to compromise on anymore, and I'm so lucky and fortunate that I'm in a position where I don't have to do that. You should try it.
I'm gonna let you in on the secret. If you feel like you're struggling with relaxing, with being yourself, with feeling like you kind of lost touch with who you were as a child, or you feel like you're just in this constant adult phase of your life where you're always being responsible, and when you go to relax, you're not actually relaxing, the reason why is because you're not allowing that part of you to actually relax. Think of that part that is relaxing, whether that's you binge watching TV or calling a friend or doing something that doesn't have any element of productivity attached to it. Ask yourself what your internal monologue or dialogue is when you're doing those things, and be honest. Is it really, I am going to enjoy watching this TV show? Like, I'm going to really be present and watch this TV show? Or are you kind of cycling through your to-do list for tomorrow? Are you having this monologue in your brain of like, I need to do this as soon as this is over, I gotta do this. I will let myself relax for 5 seconds and then I will go back to my daily scheduled programming. Really pay attention to what you're feeling internally. The key to feeling happy, the key to having a balance of a relaxed mindset and lifestyle and also being productive is allowing both of those parts to have a relationship. I'll ask you this question. What would you say the relationship is with that responsible part of you and the fun, I want to relax, I want to just enjoy my day part of you? If you could just go with your gut instinct, what is their relationship like? Chances are that responsible part of you is acting as a parentified part within you that is taking responsibility for the part of you that wants to enjoy life. This makes it feel like every time you're enjoying something or sitting down to do something to enjoy it and not to be productive or responsible, you're having a parent kind of in the corner. Maybe you grew up that way. Maybe it's a representation of the parent that you had in your childhood home. But either way, you have this parent part within you that feels like it's just staring at the child. And let me ask you a question. If you were watching TV and someone was looking at you like, okay, it's been 20 minutes left until you have to do your next thing. How would you be feeling during that TV show? Honestly. Versus having the person say, okay, enjoy yourself, have fun. At the end of the day, after doing that, you will likely feel much more fulfilled and not needing to constantly distract your mind if you allow yourself to be mindful and present and allow that part of you to be mindful and present during those times where you're relaxing versus being in resistance, suppressing the idea that you're relaxing and allowing that parent to take over. So next time you try to go into a relaxed state, whether that's binge watching a TV show, I keep bringing that up as an example, but it could be anything, like taking your dog on a walk, spending time with your partner. Next time you are mindfully doing that, ask yourself, how can I be in this present moment? And really pay attention to the thoughts surrounding you being in that moment. Allow that part of you to flourish in those moments. Trust that that part of you also has your best interest in mind. It is still a part of you. It might not be able to pay the bills. It might not be able to carry you as a responsible adult, but it still deserves attention without feeling like it's being parented constantly. So where is that balance between the parent part of you that needs to be responsible because you're an adult, you do need to pay bills, understandably so. Where's the balance between that part of you and the child part that enjoys fun and wants to relax and sometimes take a break from the stressors of life? How can those two parts understand each other and be on each other's sides and become friendly? That's going to look different for everyone, but I want you to ask yourself that question and start there.
I do one thing after work every single day. Every day, no matter what, I always take a walk. I'm on my walk right now. And I do this because if I get home and I'm feeling great and I go on this walk, I'm motivated to do whatever I want for the rest of the night. If I come home and I'm feeling like shit, then I go on this walk and that later motivates me to do anything I want for the rest of the night. So no matter what, if you're feeling good or you're feeling bad, it always helps to get your heart rate up.
I appreciate you guys watching the video today. Please make sure to like, comment, and subscribe down below, and I'll see you guys in the next video.